On therapeutics and vaccine updates, 3 vaccine candidates have now moved into phase 3 trials. This would be years ahead of schedule. We have done wonders with the FDA. I want to thank the FDA and all of the great people there, and Dr. Hahn. But we have phase 3 trials already going on, which is, most people would have said, impossible to even think about. Today, Pfizer announced that it will manufacture Gilead's drug remdesivir, where we've had tremendous success. Last week alone, my administration procured and distributed over 120,000 vials of remdesivir, enough to treat more than 19,000 patients. Plasma treatments continue to show incredibly encouraging results, really incredible what's going on. And if you can go to a blood bank, if you've had this disease and beat it, and there are a lot of people that have, if you could, go to a blood bank and donate. That would be a tremendous help. The United States is only 5% of the world's population, but we have conducted over 25% of the world's testing. Think of that, 5%, and we've given 25% of the world's testing. Any proper global analysis of confirmed cases must really take this into account, because we're constantly showing cases are up. Well, the reason cases are up because we're doing, one of the reasons, we're doing a lot of testing. We're doing much more testing than anyone else, close to 65 million tests, where other countries have done very little testing. They'll test people if they get sick. They'll test people if they go into the hospital. They'll test certain people. We're doing tremendous testing, and we're especially doing big testing at the nursing homes. Over the last week, the testing turnaround times have declined significantly as our major commercial labs have begun pooling samples, and we've also been able to send out many more of the tests, which are the 5-minute to 15-minute result tests. Testing samples from multiple patients in one batch is also something that we're very focused on and doing, but in the not-too-distant future, we'll have so many tests where it's a quick test. They call it a quick test, 5 minutes to 15 minutes. So we won't even have to worry too much about the process of sending and receiving. Because if you figure it takes a day to send and a day to receive, and let's say a day at the laboratory, that's 3 days right there. And the other tests, you can have them in 5 to 15 minutes. Over the next 2 weeks, I'll be pursuing a major executive order requiring health insurance companies to cover all pre-existing conditions for all customers. That's a big thing. I've always been very strongly in favor. We have to cover pre-existing conditions. So we will be pursuing a major executive order requiring health insurance companies to cover all pre-existing conditions for all of its customers. This has never been done before, but it's time the people of our country are properly represented and properly taken care of. This follows a series of executive orders to lower drug prices and lower prescription drug prices, and significantly. We had the only year, which was last year, where drug prices went down in 51 years. But we're talking about going down at a level that nobody has even thought possible now, even though the drug companies are running very big ads on me, but that's usually a reason. They're not too happy. They can't be too thrilled. But they've made a lot of money over the years, and prices just go up. Not fair. This includes a landmark executive order requiring drug companies to change Americans and charge Americans no more than they charge to foreign countries. So they have to charge Americans no more than they charge to foreign countries. That means our country can't be charged more. So if Germany gets drugs at a very small or low price, and we're paying many times that price in the United States because we pay for all of the research, the development, the promotion, and other things, we will get what's called a favored nations clause. We're going to have, and I signed a favored nations clause, so that the United States, which is the #1 purchaser of drugs by far in the world, biggest purchaser in the world, not even close. You have other countries that are bigger. If you look at India, China, etc., not too many. but we have countries that are bigger, but not even close in terms of ordering drugs. We're the #1 country in the world, but we have a favored nation. So if somebody has a drug, in many cases it comes from a plant, the same plant. It's the same pill, it's the same medicine or medication. Whatever the lowest country charges. So if Germany charges 10 cents for a pill and we charge $2, and I only use Germany as an example, then we get that for 10 cents. So what's going to happen is that's going to go up a little bit and ours is going to come down a whole lot. So it's favored nations, and I will tell you that Big Pharma is not happy. For too long, we've been forced to subsidize cheaper drug prices in foreign countries. We've subsidized them to a level that nobody can believe. Nobody talked about it. Everybody wondered, how come every president that runs for office says they're going to lower drug prices, and they never do. They go through the right roof. Over the last administration, they went up like skyrocketing. That's Biden. Biden's not going to be able to do it. He has no clue. So what's happening is we are going to be working to get rid of all the subsidy to foreign lands, and we're going to give essentially all of the benefit that, frankly, they have as great negotiators. Those benefits are going to go to our people. So it's called a favored nations clause, and you can look it up and you can see, and nobody's had the courage to institute it, to call it, because it's a very big step. But it's something that is going to drive drug prices down 50, 60, maybe even 70%. Talking about numbers that are unbelievable. I also signed an executive order stopping middlemen from taking advantage of Medicare patients by charging higher prices to them and pocketing the discounts for themselves. These are some of the richest people in the world. Everyone talked about middlemen. I've heard about them for years on prescription drug prices. Middlemen. I guess you'd have to say, to be politically correct, middlemen and women. But you never heard the middle woman before. You heard middlemen. That's the term. And, you know, say what you want about the drug companies, but at least the drug companies produce a product. They produce the pill. They produce the medicine, the medication. But these people make billions and billions of dollars. I don't know who they are, but they're very rich. But they won't be so rich anymore. This executive order requires these $30 billion in discounts to go straight to the American patients. So the middleman's going to be knocked out, and I'm going to lose a lot of friends, even though I have no idea who these people are. On opioids, I'm pleased to announce that my administration invested an additional $100 million to fight the opioid crisis in rural America. In the midst of the China virus pandemic, we also keep fighting to end the opioid epidemic, and we've done very well. It was prior to the virus, we were down 18, 19, and 20%. But when you think about it, that means that you have 80%, and that's not acceptable. The wall is going up. We have 276 miles of wall. It's having a tremendous impact on drugs coming into our country already. It'll be finished toward the end of the year, and it's had a very, very big impact.